That's hockey. Next on Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Las Vegas sportscaster at large. Chris Golick, collectible editor for the Hockey News, and chopping it up there.
Usually people at large, they're like wanted doing something.
Exactly. And season ticket holder for the Vegas Golden Knights. Thank you so much for making us your
last
first
night. I'm done. I canceled it. Done. Canceled it.
Canceled what?
My subscription. We're done. They lost to the Blue Jackets. Done. Forget it.
Okay. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. Coming up later on in this program, if you will, the Rangers preview. That game will be played on Sunday. And WTF, What the Friday. It's, of course, our weekly feature. We are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app today. Use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. What's so funny, man? What's going on over there?
You were going to forget unless I put that graphic up there.
So I had to open up today's broadcast with the nonchalant Bruce Cassidy. And that quote, that's hockey. That's hockey. He even used it yesterday in the pregame presser. And last night after the game, he said 2 goals wiped out, both by Barbashev, last 2 games. And that was the difference. And that's hockey. And then, of course, that famous quote, that's hockey, in the Dallas game where he said, no on-net looks in the third, one on-net look in the third period. And that puck went in. That's hockey. That's hockey. So last night, was that hockey? That was muck to me. I'm telling you, that game was so stinking boring. VGK, another lackluster, non-emotional game as VGK falls in 51 seconds into the overtime period, 2-1 to Columbus. Alex Pietrangelo, talk about nonchalant, turns the puck over. Kent Johnson races down the length of the ice. 200-foot player? No, maybe about $150 there. And then you have, so Kent Johnson, then pad save, Samsonov. Then the next wave is Zach Werenski. And then he has a rebound shot. And then the third time was a charm, Cole Sillinger, rebound goal. And to me, like this was the first time we talked about how potent this Columbus team is as far as racing down the ice in transition. Where was the defense? Even though you have a turnover by Petro, how do you get 3 cracks at the game-winning goal? How?
So the little things is my theme right now. Little things. Golden Knights.
Mine is that's hockey. It's right there too under my name.
I know. They're not doing the little things right. You start with the Zach Whitecloud goal. You don't pass the Zach Whitecloud flub that led to the first goal, the Fantilli goal. You don't pass your puck to the goalie for the goalie to freeze it. It's an unnatural thing. Goalies are not ready for that. And Whitecloud just pushes the puck under. Coach Cassidy quoted this. Again, you don't like what I'm saying, fine. Coach Cassidy called this as mismanaging pucks, mismanaged pucks on both goals. Zach Whitecloud mismanaged the puck. Put that puck in the corner, live to fight another day. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. You go back and you look at the Cole Sillinger game-winning goal. You have 3 Golden Knights who are just kind of there, right?
Yeah.
Pietrangelo starts this with the turnover. Okay, fine. That's going to happen.
Right.
Hurdle is the last man back. Hurdle's man, Zach Werenski, is the one who ultimately wins this game. What gets me on this play, honestly, it's Jack Eichel. This is what no one's talking about here. So if you go on like the Edge visualizer on the NHL Network or just watch the replay, for whatever reason, Jack Eichel peels off and like goes behind the nets and just like stops playing. He just stopped playing. Now he's tired. It's overtime. Whatever, fine. Whatever the logic or excuse is, but Why would you go behind the net in that circumstance? Why would you
because
go off to
because
the
that's
side?
hockey. Because that's hockey.
No. And then the last thing I'll leave with, I put a note up before I even really dove into the game. Braden McNabb gets not a grade A, but he gets a good look. And Keegan Kolesar's in front of the net. Kolesar, instead of getting his stick down, trying to get a deflection or ready for a rebound, his stick is up in the air as he's trying to almost dodge the shot and position himself. And then happened one more time in the last 3 minutes of the game when he's in front of the net with the stick up in the air. May seem like little seeing eye, nothing plays, but the difference from winning and losing at this level, whether you're a minus 300 favorite, or whether you're a dog or whatever the scenario is, it's in doing everything right because the league is just so good. The league is so good.
And Eichel also had the goal waved off last night. Ran into Elvis Merzlikins. He ran right into him, and the
I
refuse
saw on Twitter. It wasn't that big of a deal.
The refuse suck chance. Come on, folks. That was like a no-brainer. Eichel knew it. Cassidy he couldn't come back and tried to get a replay on that. Come on, that's ridiculous. Do you remember, were you here in town, speaking of Elvis, were you here in town when they had the Flying Elvi? That was like the skydiving and parachuting team.
I remember the Flying Elvises from Honeymoon in Vegas.
Yeah, the Flying Elvi. That's exactly who they were.
So that was a thing before that.
Oh, they used to jump off buildings. Yeah.
I had no idea that. We're the Flying Elvises. What a great movie.
Flying Elvi is what they call themselves. But they had an accident, and one of the jumpers had an accident and passed away, and then that was the end of that. So
that's not good,
unfortunately. But yeah, that's hockey. That's hockey, bro. Raphael Lavoie and Cal Burke were in the lineup last night. Burke coming up as someone who was a recommendation to Bruce Cassidy. What is going on with his thinking lineup right now? I don't get it.
In some facets, it is getting people a look, whether it's internally or for external purposes. In the case of Ron Bjerg, I think he's played his maximum number of games where he would have to go through waivers should he play another game with the Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights simply aren't ready to come in and say, okay, Ron Bjerg, you're a VGK the rest of the season, because a scenario is going to happen where Carlson likely comes back, or more likely scenario, trades and things like that are going to happen. And speaking of adding personnel here, I will just kind of ham it up a little bit today. Elliot Friedman put that the Golden Knights are one of the 4 teams that might kick the tires on Brandon Saad. Brandon Saad, St. Louis Blues, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, I believe, from back in the days with the Blackhawks. 20-ish goal scorer, 26 goals last year. Brandon
Where
Saad,
is he now? Where is he at? Of course. It's the fraternity. They're going to move him west. Of course, that's
right.
Going to
But
happen.
The nice thing about it is that Brandon Saad, instead of going to the American Hockey League and still getting his $4.5 million or whatever it was, him and the Blues actually elected to mutually, mutually, to get rid of the contract, mutually, whatever it is.
Depart.
Mutually parted ways.
Yeah.
So Saad is now a free agent.
Future endeavors. Did they tweet out future endeavors?
Saad is a free agent, so you can kick the tires on him for possibly less than $1 million. Saad is looking to catch on with a contender, prove he's still got something in the tank. And, you look at the lack of depth scoring, maybe now is a good time for someone like Brandon Saad.
Oh, they need help. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens this weekend with it.
Right. On the broadcast, State Run last night was saying, they're not going to come with any big names like they did last year with Hannafin. And Hurdle. Come on.
Really? He's got $5 million to work with before he sheds any salary space.
Right exactly. Pietrangelo, he did play well. Now that I think of it, he did pretty well on the hockey stat card. He had a few shots, some good looks on net last night.
He had some good looks against Dallas too on Tuesday.
Yeah, but then that big crucial turnover. VGK, the odd stat of the night, had 6 minutes more, they said on the post-game show, of ozone time than Columbus. That's a wide margin, and VGK just could not finish. 6 more minutes, and that's hockey, bro. That's hockey right there. Like 6 more minutes, that's substantial in this game.
they did their best bend don't break, and they bent pretty darn hard a couple of times because the Golden Knights did get some looks. But the Golden Knights, their strong point is not the cycle. Their strong point is not puck movement once they're in the offensive zone. Don't get me wrong; they can score goals in that circumstance. They've scored plenty of goals in that circumstance. But I put this out there sometime early in the third period. Cal Burke gets a nice transition moment, but he takes the puck on his own. I think once Theodore did a transition where he started, but he skated the whole time. Columbus did not allow Vegas to get that first pass that goes across their blue line from behind the net or in front of the goaltender.
Why? Why? Because it's that 1-1-3 zone pressure that they play.
1-3-1, I think. But yeah,
no. It was 1-1-3. No?
Okay, fair enough. I thought I heard 1-3-1, but either way, fine. Point being is that
but they had a wave of defenders on the back line, regardless.
Right, no, you're 100% right. There were defenders everywhere. It seemed like it was the Blue Jackets, 7-14-2 on the road, 8-15-4, and whatever the heck it is.
Whatever it is. That's
but point being is that the Golden Knights weren't getting that speed coming out of the defensive zone, and it's not even about the odd man opportunities that can get created. It's just they're a speed transitional team, and Eastern Conference teams that doesn't go too well. Okay, now we got a starting goalie to deal with. That doesn't go too well. And this is a concerning point. You and I and Chris, we pegged the Golden Knights for 2 points last night, and we said find a path to 5 points. I think on this, and the
nearly must win situation last night.
It felt like it felt like
there was a lot more pressure because everyone was saying they have to win this game. Momentum. Cassidy said, "Yeah, we need to win this game before we head on the road. Won't be back for 3+ weeks." Yeah,
that was 3 points on this 4-game road trip.
I don't know.
4 points. I don't think so.
Yeah. What did I say? 4 and a hook?
We said 4 and a hook total for the last 5 games.
For 5 games.
3.5 more points.
Well, there's a hook.
Points, call it.
Okay.
And that's I don't see it. I don't see a path to it. I don't.
Tomas Hertl, interesting last night. And please forgive me because sometimes I cannot understand what he's saying. And I apologize for that.
But he smiles nicely honest. And he's fun to watch. So he has an infectious smile.
I'm not being mean, but I thought that he said something about Barbashev having to play more physical, going to the net front. He has to play in front of the net. Like he's saying now, so are they starting to point fingers? Like Barbashev, you need to be in front of the net more often. I thought that's what he said.
Watch that. I did. I was watching TV about 30% tuned in by that point and just staring at my phone like an idiot at the end of the night. But I'll go back and watch. I'm curious. Net Fred presence was brought up a lot last night. And just, I took a bunch of notes while I was watching.
Okay, one other thing, too, while you're looking through your notes. Another last-minute goal there. Well, 1:26 to go, first period. Fantilli Lace with a goal. Fantilli scores a goal. Like, that's just... Again,
he scores a bad goal. A good goal for him. Bad goal for the Golden Knights to give up.
Bad goal. A horrible goal for VGK to give up. Right. But again, that's the lack of focus, lack of paying. That's hockey right there. But again, though, it is a lack of focus and a lack of paying attention to all the details. That's the issue right there.
Little things right, Tony. What was my first point in today's show?
You were talking about, talked about the flying Elvi. Oh yeah, that's hockey. That's hockey. All the little things.
First of all,
the small things. Yeah, I like that song. That's a good song. All the small things.
That's a good song. Cassie did reference that the Golden Knights are third in scoring, just like we talked about in our show yesterday.
Of course, he listens. He takes a lot of the material from us. That's hockey.
Is there enough of a shot mentality? That's one of the things that he said. They have a tendency to overpass. You've got the personnel in the room. Interesting note. He did talk about Carlson, his ability to drive through the neutral zone, but not an excuse, blah, blah, blah. I can't read my handwriting there, and I can't read my
That's what I did the other day. That was pretty good. Yeah. I don't know what I was mangling words. Yeah. Okay. Let's exit this segment because WTF, I think, could be a rager today. Coming up next, we'll have a preview of the first game of the roadie, if you will. VGK begins that 4-game road swing on Sunday at the Rangers, and our preview comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. I can't stop looking at that subhead. Thank you for covering. That's hockey. If you are looking for tickets for the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas, the hot ticket right now is Kenny Chesney's a great show, a lot of fun, and that will be at the Sphere coming up, his residency this summer. There are so many great ticket deals at Gametime. We tell you all the time about Gametime and its new feature called Gametime Picks. It makes getting tickets for events even easier, filters out all the fluff. I wish we could filter out some of the fluff of today's show, but we cannot. Only editing, but I'm not going to do that for hours. And you can find all these incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The super deal, that was especially impressive, offering the best value for an event. The app's features, they've got so many great things: seat views before you buy, the all-in pricing with no surprise fees at checkout. And again, it does make this experience very smooth, seamless, reliable, and easy. Plus, the on time ticket delivery and lowest price guarantee that gives you peace of mind. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will receive $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Back on this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. This weekend, we've got some volleyball, women's pro volleyball, over there at Lee's Family Forum. And the Thrill back in action at 4-2 currently. Playing real well, Golick. You got to get out there. Yep. And so they've got a game tonight at 7, Sunday at 5. Come on out there. You'll really like this. I know that the Golick family likes it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, truly is. So don't forget, tomorrow sometimes, the Chris Times Chris Jr. show. That's hockey? No? I gave you the theme.
That's hockey.
Okay.
You got the personnel in the room to execute.
The 4-game road trip before the Four Nations face-off. VGK, they now start off with the Rangers, and VGK rigged. The Rangers play in Boston. The Rangers will be playing in Boston on Saturday, and then they'll take the train probably to Madison Square Garden.
Means the Golden Knights might get Jonathan Quick on Sunday.
That's what I was thinking. They'll probably get Quick, and that's no bargain. You talk about backup goaltenders, and he plays very well when he's in net still for the Rangers. So that game will be Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. VGK will be facing a better New York Rangers team, the Broadway Blues, when those two square off on Sunday. And a lot going on, of course, with the Rangers. They're up and down. Finally, Mika Zibanejad finally starting to come on there. 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points for the month of January. And during that month, the Rangers, a team, Chris, that went 8-3-3.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Rangers are in a weird spot. They're trading players. Capo Caco is all of a sudden on fire since the trade with Seattle, wherever, Anaheim. Wherever Capo Caco just went, he's doing really, really well, and that's tough for the Rangers to watch. That's
Trouba went to Anaheim.
Yeah, Trouba went to Anaheim. I forgot where Capo Caco went. But
Seattle.
Seattle. Okay.
The Flying
Fish. He's doing well.
Yep.
He's doing well in Seattle. Jonathan Quick last season, a little better than this season's version. 9-11 last year, 27 games and a 2.62. This season, Jonathan Quick, if it is Quick, who the Golden Knights see on Sunday, Jonathan Quick is a 3.11 goals against and an 8.9 save percentage in 16 appearances. Shesterkin, 2.83 goals against. That's high. 9.09 save percentage shows he's still a pretty good goalie. But like you said, Tony, just Rangers kind of all over the place. They had a real good run for a while, and then they dropped 2 home games, 5-4 regulation to Colorado. Then the Hurricanes shut them out 4-0. That's not a good one. And then this weird situation where, I mean, geez, how many games? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Rangers are in a spot where 7 of 8 games are at home, and they got this little trip to Boston in the middle. Actually, that's going to be tomorrow before the Golden Knights play them. So, not sure what version of the Rangers are going to show up, but I do know it's an Eastern Conference team, and if it's Shesterkin, the Golden Knights struggle against Eastern Conference teams and starting goaltenders. If it's Jonathan Quick, the Golden Knights still struggle against Eastern Conference teams. So, not a good spot for the Golden Knights. There's probably not a betting line out yet, but the Golden Knights, I would say, are probably plus 125 in this one. Plus
7, 9,
maybe
and
less
2.
because of the back-to-back. Sorry.
7, 9, and 2 against the East. When was the last time VGK had a 500 or sub 500 month? I was trying to think. Was it last dry January? No.
Yeah, it probably was a different January because, I mean, as bad as this January was, they still got, was it 16? Was it 15 points or 16 points? 15 points.
6 and 3, so 15.
So that's 12. Carry the 1, drop the 2, round up. That's 15 points out of.
Is that
30.
15? Okay.
Yeah. Listen, a 500 points percentage. Cassidy did talk about that in the post game as well. We're not a 500 team. They were.
No, but that's hockey. That's hockey.
But if that's as bad as it gets, like if that's the worst month of the year, that's not too bad.
That's not bad.
Joke and said, ask me in April about it, but yeah.
Right, exactly.
Cassidy's getting soft right now. There you go.
He's getting very soft.
The rant that our manager doesn't want us to go on. Cassie's getting soft right now.
He's getting so soft. Like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe the high life. He's been watching a lot of Kansas City Chiefs football, talking about.
He broke that down pretty well. He broke that down really well.
Talking about putting a chip in the football. Yeah. You know, I mean,
that was a good presser.
Yeah, that was a good presser for football. Yes, if he were the football coach. So Pete Carroll might want to hire him as an analyst. So that could happen.
Consultants. Boom, done.
Right. Artemi Panarin, the bread man for the Rangers, they want him to be scratched. The fans do, which I like the fans. I've got several on my feed.
That's such a New York thing to say, but yeah.
But he didn't play defense against Carolina.
When's he ever played defense?
Exactly. But they're really piping hot right now. That's hockey. And
52 points in 48 games. Let's scratch him. That's as boneheaded as some of the comments I saw yesterday on VGK Twitter. And no, I didn't call VGK fans boneheaded. Relax, everybody.
No. But ref, you suck on an absolutely clear goalie interference call.
Okay, that's boneheaded.
Yeah,
there was so at the game on Tuesday night, WTF.
The narrative started off. Well, was
actually no. I'll save it for. I'm going to write it down. I'll save it for Tuesday. I'll save it for what the Friday. Keep going. I didn't.
Okay, was he pushed into the goaltender, Elvis? He was the flying Elvi right there.
I honestly didn't see the play, and I was going up and down Twitter trying to find.
It's a goalie interference.
But based on what everyone says, it's a seeing eye situation.
Absolutely, like a no-brainer.
Is Barbashev snake bitten? 2 goals didn't get counted. He's snake bitten, Tony.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, Tony's coughing.
I'm good.
Tony? You good? Okay. Yeah, no, that's all I was going to say.
That's what the cough button.
Barbashev, at least he's starting to find the back of the net, and he's an important part of the Eichel line. And yeah, like what's Coach Cassidy going to do this week with these 4 road games? Do you see players being moved around a lot? Do you see some big changes happening?
Oh man.
Does the top line finally get broken up, which I think it needs to? Does Brandon Saad join the Vegas Golden Knights this week?
It will be.
I
asked yesterday, will there be a new player when they come back on the 22nd?
No, I didn't.
You said no. I said yes.
It might be a new player before the end of January, Tony.
Oh, very true. Very true. Okay, let's get into WTF. That comes your way next, right here on Lockdown Golden Knights. Back on this edition of Lockdown Golden Knights, a coughing Tony Cardasco. I don't know where that came from. Let's hope we're not getting sick here.
Aaron Elliott was having a rough night last night, coughing in the postgame.
He doesn't have the cough button, though, right? So he just keeps.
No, they didn't have the cough button.
Yeah,
on.
Exactly. Like somebody needs to have.
Play it off nice, though. It was whatever you're gonna do.
Of course. So it's that time of the week again. It is time for WTF. There are plenty of comments, so let's try to zip through this. I'm going to start off with a source is telling me that we could see coming to the Valley soon USA versus Canada women's hockey, an exhibition game coming here to the Valley. So I want to start off with the heater myself. I want it to be Tomas Hertl. Why do I have to emphasize Tomas?
His name.
Because that's hockey. Because that is out. Also, I am hearing the PWHL has been around kicking tires for something. Something's brewing, either exhibition game or they want to land a women's professional hockey team here in Vegas, which we've been calling for all the time. So
I don't know if Lee's Family Forum is big enough, Tony. I don't know if it's big enough.
It'd be great if you sell it out every game. Then you can move to a bigger venue.
Sure, of course.
Start off small here.
No, that's a good thing. This is a good
so
thing.
So Dasco's sources coming through reported by the Dasco News Agency, DNA. DNA. It's DNA. Okay. WTF.
I heard. That's it.
So I'll do one more because, Miro Heiskanen now listed as week to week with a left leg injury, and he will miss the Four Nations face-off. It was reported yesterday. And you just can't convince me after I watch this again. Okay, we say that Mark Stone skates at his top speed at 9.82 miles per hour.
So far, you're accurate.
Okay, so if you get tripped up, you just fall down. You don't lunge forward. I'm sorry, but I've watched this repeatedly, and I'm not saying it was dirty. I'm just saying he jumped forward. Watch it. Slow it down. WTF.
I want to meet the person who thought it was a genius idea to put razor blades on boots and play hockey on ice. And where I'm going with that is it's one of these things where unless you get to experience something like that, even in a beer league game or as a referee trying to get through traffic and things like that, when little things like that happen, it can throw everything off. And I don't care what you think. No one cares what I think. I care what the four officials on the ice think, and I care what Toronto thinks. And at the worst, they thought it was a 2-minute tripping penalty. So that's where it ends with me. Early WTF. Here's my first WTF. Duval. Who the heck is that guy?
Oh, that was bad.
I mean, I'm going to get.
I got the kills. That was so creepy. Yeah, so creepy.
This guy is cringe. I mean, he might be a good coach, and good for him if he is. And I mean, or he's going to be more popular than Grumpy Cat when it comes to the memes and the gifts and everything. So, WTF that whoever that guy is down in Jacksonville, I'll probably be fired in a year and a half anyway. And maybe he's the next Raiders coach, Tony. Maybe he's the next Raiders coach. Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Ooh, that's pretty bad. Okay.
Icing is good on cake, not good on hockey. WTF. And then the ref you suck chance. This is just getting out of hand. And
that was brutal. That was so bad because it was just blatant. Cassidy said, "Yeah, he ran into the goaltender." Eichel falls down. He's like, "Yeah, I think I ran into the goalie."
Listen, goaltender interference is a subjective call, and it's it's not a black and white situation.
This one was
pretty much, but
I'm going
back to the game on Tuesday. Forget that. I'm going back to the game on Tuesday, where they show the offside review at center ice or on the Nitron. Like, oh yeah, that's offside before the play's even done. It's offsides, and people start the ref you suck chant after that. First of all, it's not even the refs making the call; it's Toronto, number one. Like when it's a seeing eye situation and you start the ref you suck chant, you know nothing about hockey. I'm sorry, you don't know anything about hockey in that circumstance. So don't join in like the rest of the clowns when they start the ref you suck chant. Just form your own opinion, watch the play, and then I was literally in the middle of tweeting and being pissed off about the fans blasting the refs there on Tuesday night. And then the Golden Knights score a goal like 5 seconds later. It's like, okay, fine, I feel better. So
yeah,
WTF there, and yeah.
Okay, fine. I got more, and then we'll go into some. Duval, we've got okay. I did like this VGK interview. 35 questions with Noah Hannafin.
Every time I clicked it went open. It took me to NHL Network and it wasn't there.
Oh, it got canceled. Wow.
I don't know. Every time I clicked it wasn't there. And this isn't a joke
hilarious.
about his terrible defense and being like a
turnstile. Oh, no. He said the question was idea of your perfect game. And he said, can't stop. I'm sorry. He said positive plus minus. That's what he said. That's his perfect game. Okay, WTF, -4 in 2 games in the span of 4 days against Dallas. WTF. Quit it, man. Just quit it. Okay, another thing. We saw Hannafin, right? In that Hannafin versus the beer league player. They put out these videos. So someone last night, Jackson Rice at LV Gold 81 says Petro looked like a beer league player with that turnover. LOL. So I said I'd like to see what he could do in a beer league player versus Petro video right now. That's what I would like to see. WTF. I can't. Come on, man. I just can't some days with this.
I put a post out there. Brandon Saad to Vegas. Good idea or bad idea? We got a 75% saying good idea. And then my WTF, Petrangelo and Hannafin combined for 16.15 million AAV. Oof. WT stinking F.
Wow, when you think of it in those terms, that's crazy. All right, let's get to some of these comments. We're going way
20% of the VGK. 84 million. 80. Let's say it's 86 million just to be safe. So 16.
Okay, do your percentages. Carry the one.
Divided by 2. 85 million.
Okay, 85. Right. Yeah. Make sure you take Carlson's
18.8%
his salary out.
That's 19% of the VGK salary. Wow. If it's based off 85 million, so it's close enough. That's way too much. Too much.
Okay, from E-runs.
Right, that's too much. By the way, terrible game. Anyway,
I'm going to zip through. Let me zip through some of these, and you could just comment real fast. Okay, WTF from E-runs. Holtz goes from the AHL to the top line to a scratch. Sorry, Ron Bjerg plays one of his most confident NHL games Tuesday, only to be sent down for 9 minutes. For 9 minutes and 27 seconds of Cal Burke. VGK has been grasping at straws to find a modicum of depth. WTF. Clyde says, WTF, why do we always give up goals at the end of a period? Do we think we can just stop for the last few minutes? WTF.
Little things.
That's hockey, bro. Lewis Gregory, my man, Lou Dog 777. Let me see. How are you up 3-1 and on a power play and managed to choke the game away? What are we, the UNLV men's basketball team? Oh, these are
Tony. That one hurt.
That one hurt me. Yeah. Of course, Darth Tommy 774, who really, by the way, enjoys my opens here on the show. Why do the VGK play 71-7 when they're admittedly injured? Wouldn't it make sense to get them off the ice and heal? We can always see them struggling. WTF. Monica said icing is good on cake and not hockey. Yeah, I'm not going to ad lib anymore. I shouldn't ad lib. Colic on the reads. Sorry. WTF. What's up with all the Dallas fans wanting Mark Stone banned for life, yet nothing was said when Jamie Benn genuinely did go out to hurt Stone in the playoffs when we won the cup? That's from our man Stephen Williams at Stu Williams 81. And I think I have another one there. Larry DeLeon. I got to get his in there. WTF. Petrangelos. That's what he's calling him, Petrangelos. Good ones. Thank you so much, because that is hockey. And that brings today's episode to a conclusion.
You're close. Thank you all. Better than your open.
That was better than the open by far. For my man, Chris Golick, we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for making us your first listen. I am Tony Cardasco. We'll see you again Monday right here on Locked On Golden Knights. That's hockey, folks. Please take care.